Crazy turn and face the train. Crazy. I need a CB radio. Welcome to the Crazy Train. I'm your host Rob Wade. With me from left to right is Omer Ibrahim.
It's nice to be. I have a story about that. Sorry, I interrupted myself.
Self-Omer's. We're in minute 1. And Blake Harmer.
We got the eye of the crazy lady, and you're gonna hear me train.
Chug, 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 chug along.
I love the fact that behind the scenes, every time Blake's like, I've got this song, it's not as good as some of my others. It's like, every time he knocks it out of the fucking park. Admittedly, compared to us, he's putting it on a fucking T-ball and just whacking it away. So how's everybody been? It's been a while since we've actually got together and recorded.
Who are you again? Who are you again?
I can't remember. Crouch?
No, well, I must be over because I've just interrupted myself.
No, I just told you to crouch.
Oh, what is it? Ow! Do you know, I could have made a clapping noise and not hit myself in the head there, but I don't think that would have been as funny.
You're a method worker.
I don't do meth, and that is slander.
Alright, Eisenberg.
So, yeah, I mean, it's apologies for the kind of the gap between the shows, but unfortunately we just had a lot of trouble getting together to record.
Life finds a way.
Life gets in the way.
Yeah, true.
No.
Go on, push.
A lot of the time it's...
don't ever tell me to push, I'll become cards off.
To do with pushing. But yeah, I mean, what have you guys been up to since we were last recorded?
I have this conversation with people all the time. Like, I met a friend I hadn't seen in a couple of years the other day. And they're like, what have you been up to? And I was like, it's been 2 years. A fuck ton.
Yeah.
But at the same time, kind of nothing.
Yeah. Like, status quo, but I need to explain what that is.
Yeah.
They were banned.
Barely.
Yeah.
There's no bears
in the loosest sense of the word.
Nah, they're alright. Good for them.
Yeah, like, a lot of things have happened. I've had a birthday.
Yes, you did.
Went off to the Viking exhibit in the British Museum.
Okay.
It's really good. My girlfriend surprised me by booking up a hotel. Well, we headed off to London on my birthday. And she booked up a hotel so we could stay for 2 days. It was pretty cool. And just Science Museum the next day. Remembered it's never as good as you think it might be.
What, museums?
The Science Museum.
Oh, the Science Museum.
The British Museum. First time since I was about 11 years old I went in, and we had it was part of a school trip when I was about 11, and we had about half an hour in there while we were killing time. And you cannot do the British Museum in any less. Well, we got there at quarter to 10. We actually got into the British Museum.
Yeah.
No, it can't be right. We got... Say 10 o'clock.
Are you doing metric time again?
I am, yeah. Say we got there about 10 o'clock. Yes, because our ticket to the Viking exhibit was quarter to 11.
Right.
So we got there 10:30.
Okay.
And we left about 4:30.
Right.
So, like, it's huge. Like I said, I never really explored it before. There is the big special Viking exhibit on, which actually... it was really, really good. The main part of the exhibit is the Viking ship that they've unearthed and put there. In actual fact, it's about a dozen planks of wood and some nuts and bolts.
I was going to say, I swear you just said in actual plank.
In actual plank. I was probably judging ahead of myself, yeah. Yeah, it was fine, but it wasn't £16.50 a ticket's worth of boat, if you know what I mean. But everything else around it...
No, sorry, let's just clarify. You weren't buying a chunk of the boat. It's not Kickstarter.
Then why is there a plank in my shed?
Various
because reasons.
They're going to find me.
Because Omer.
It's my iPhone.
Pretty standard. I'm making the new model.
I'm making an iPad.
They haven't released the dimensions yet, so I don't know how big to cut it.
Yeah, no, like, there are lots of other things. There's these swords called the Uthbut swords, which were like the prime sword of their day. It was like the Jaguar of...
You mean prime as in next day delivery?
Yeah, that's the one, yeah. They were made of something superior. I actually watched a show on them being made the other day, and the technology wouldn't be repeatable consistently for another sort of 300 years. Okay. So they were pretty advanced, but to the point where there were actually knockoffs of them. They were called Uthbut. They had the word Uthbut written in the blade, and there were ones that were spelt slightly strong, so it was like Jaffa cake and Glucoraid. They were actually making knockoffs.
Sorry, so they had swords with Jaffa cake written.
No, they had no.
Glucoraid.
When I've been out for a hard day's raping and pillaging, I get thirsty, and I hit a Glucoraid.
Glucoraid.
And a Jaffa cake.
There's something to be done with
Jaffa
the word
cakes sound like some sort of indigenous race they'd have to wipe out first, then they can have a Glucoraid to sell.
I've got rid of all this.
And I like to wear my Grada handbag.
Yeah, and then I was talking to somebody there, and they were but because you've got the people walking around like talking about it and that, but they're few and far between.
The guides.
The guides, and there were some people looking at it, and they were like, "Well, how did they not get done for doing the knockoffs?" And I was like, "Well, if you sold a guy a knockoff sword and he went to battle and it broke, he's probably not going to come back and complain because he's probably dead."
Like, with my last breath, I give him a negative Yelp review. 1 star.
But the
postage reasonable.
Like I said, that exhibition was great, and the British Museum is just I don't know, just this massive building of wonders. It really is.
I haven't been to them. I went to the Science Museum late last year. It was actually my first date with.
Oh, okay.
Know what she likes. She's into her science. I'll take her to the place where they do all the science, where they show off all the science.
Yeah, I just find I remember going as a kid and loving it, and I'm going there now and going, still kind of geared to kids to me.
Yeah,
it was fun, but there's a lot of stuff which is like sit down for 20 minutes and play a computer game with your school.
I wonder if it's.
Well, last time I went to the Science Museum was as a school trip, and I actually went away and came back again to with my parents because I was just like. I was sitting there, I was more looking after the younger year of the kids. They were just like, "Oh, you're going to look at this, we're going to go watch a film in the IMAX they've got there, then you're going to, we'll go down, you're going to do some crappy experiments." And I was sitting there going, no, there was some really crappy, like...
selling it to you.
No, there were crappy physics things, but they looked like they were more aimed at children.
No, I'm not laughing at the concept that it's a crappy experiment. I'm laughing at the idea that the guides would refer to them as such.
I work at the Science Museum, you little shits. We're going to go and do some fucking physics.
What prick thinks he can do chemistry? Step forward, fuckbag.
I'd like to. It's one of the easiest jobs. It's basically a free trip to the science museum. They just said, "We want you to keep an eye on the kids." I didn't do that at all.
You just went off by the sounds of it, you went off to the side and did some acid.
It's funny because 3 of them died.
I know, and I got annoyed because they were going around a set path. I was sitting there going, "That looks interesting." No, we're moving on. Oh, for God's sake! So I actually came back again like the next week with my parents, and I went, "Right, I'm going to walk around my own place and actually enjoy it." When I did that, I enjoyed myself.
Yeah,
I was sitting there. I could walk around and I could look at like the air, all the air flying machines and stuff that they didn't even look at. It was all wing. Yeah, they didn't even look at, And I was sitting there going,
there's a whole floor about like biology and what makes you. And there's the bits about like your DNA down to nature versus nurture and all that stuff. And there's one bit about your sex, male, female, and then there's a little bit of it about transgender people, and there's like things that, for instance, like a vest that a woman can use to strap her breasts down.
Right.
And it was all I'm looking at it, and it's really interesting to read about. Because obviously I don't lead that lifestyle, so it's interesting to read about somebody who does. Mm-hmm. But then they have basically a prosthetic penis that a woman can wear inside her underwear to pack a package out, right? But it's fucking huge, but not even just like a big dick, disproportionate. I'm like, come on, if you're a woman pretending to be a man, don't make it bigger than mine. At least be kind of realistic about this. Yeah. This thing was like on somebody my height would have been mid-thigh sort of, but it wouldn't have. It would have been like a cartoon dick, like where there would have been like somebody shoved the tube from a kitchen roll down the side of your leg.
One sheet is plenty.
And I was just like, wouldn't it have been cheaper just to buy a Cumberland sausage and stick it down your pants?
Yeah, but you've got to replace that every day.
Yeah.
Ideally.
You what?
That explains that smell.
I've had this one in my pants for 4 weeks.
That explains that smell.
Smells like Cumberland in here.
Your dick smell have gone off sausage, you faggot.
You quiz.
Is that how Timberland refers to his dick?
Yes.
Judge my Timberland.
Have a look at my Cumberland.
Why have you got a pair of shoes in your trousers?
Why not?
Sorry,
you meant as a rhetorical question. It's like, where else am I going to keep them?
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind.
How many sausages must a man pack out?
The best bit of Science Museum, though, is that there's a new little bit about 4D printing. 4D
printing. 3D printing.
I'm printing time!
No, there's a 4D cinema, that's where I got confused. Yeah, the 3D printing, and they have the guy who printed a 3D... a gun out of a 3D printer, the plastic gun, and they have it there. And it's in like 4 bits, and the quote from the guy is, "Yes, I can print a gun, but that's not the problem." And the gun's like, apparently the bullet went 80 yards down the range, but the gun exploded into 4 parts. Like, he did it remotely, like Mythbusters style, with a piece of string, but the gun exploded into parts. So it's like, that's not really the bit we need to worry about now. Because if anybody's going on a shooting spree with one of these guns, we're going to get them.
Yeah. Man kills 3 by throwing bits at people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. By blowing his hand off.
Yeah, and it's like it's the whole thing of like you can take a stick and whittle a sharp implement to stab somebody.
Yeah.
Do we need to limit like the access to trees? Do you know what I mean? It was that kind
Yes.
of. But no, it's really interesting seeing some things that have been printed. One of my favourite bits was, like a kid's, what I always call like a kid's fridge drawing. Like the silly monster or the picture of mummy and daddy.
I find it incredibly patronising that you decry my artwork that way. I know it's shit, okay, but it's not like...
I'll put it right here on the fridge. Somebody had taken those images,
You're going to get a fucking drawing a week now.
So they'd drawn like dinosaurs and monsters and dragons and things, scanned them and printed them out as a 3D model,
nice.
And you can see what the kids were drawing. It was really interesting, like how fucked up their legs are and things like that. Just as a really cute little experiment. These animals that just didn't even come close to working. It's got like 1 8-foot leg and one that's an inch tall.
Well, as a creationist, Blake, what do you make of that?
Lies!
Dinosaurs? Bullshit.
Back to the good museum.
I forget, when did I become a creationist again?
One of the episodes, I forget.
Yeah.
It was an offhand gag that I've just had so much fun with running with.
The British Museum...
Like most episodes.
The British Museum is spectacular. You just get lost in it. It's amazing.
That's pretty poorly laid out then.
It's quite easy. There was a really interesting exhibit on like health and medicine and that, and it was the entire length of the room was laid out with there was a man and a woman, and it was every tablet they had taken from their birth to their death. And I think the woman died at like
iPad 1.
The woman died at like...
One of those cheap Argos ones.
The woman died at like 75. I think the man lived to about 81 off the top of my head. And they looked like these big fishing nets with tablets in them.
Yeah.
And really interesting to see like how medicine has evolved. Even just like when they're a kid and they're taking iron tablets. And like my sister has had Little and there's no iron supplement for their child. Like there's plenty of iron in your diet now.
Yeah.
And it, really interesting the way that technology comes on. But all around it they also had like... ways that like different cultures deal with death and health, and even down to like having rosary beads and praying for good health. But then on the other side it'd be like how the something tribe from somewhere pray to their dead a year after they're gone, and they dig up the body and all things. Really, really interesting. And that's as opposed to all like the big all the things. I mean, they have the Rosetta Stone. And they have...
the language learning course.
Yeah, that's the one. She's just standing there going, now we will learn the French.
Good, spot on.
And I taught a young kid about currency in the Viking Age. Oh. There's a woman. It was really nice because there was a woman like.
Did they have this museum?
They have this.
I started the Omer museum.
You interrupted the museum.
You interrupted writing. Well, no, they have the guys, but they're few and far between. And there was this woman and her two kids, grandchildren or whatever. They seemed like they probably were from the age difference, if you know what I mean. And
the worst innuendo ever. They seem like grandchildren, if you know what I mean.
From Medway.
She's in her mid-20s then.
Yeah. But like there's this pile of like Viking silver, and it's all broken and in pieces. And apparently it was one hoard that was dug up. And the woman asked one of the curators or the people, the guides, with the two, excuse me, why are these like bracelets all cut up? And he's just gone, we don't really know, and just walked off. And I was like, if you want to know, it was change. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, they didn't have currency, so if you gave me £1 and you needed 50p change, I'd just chop whatever bit of silver you were handing me in half. Yeah. Like, so you'd have a bracelet, because they were like, a bracelet was made of a certain amount of silver, right. And we would judge that you owed me 5 grams of silver, the bracelet was 10 grams, so you chop it in half and give me half. It was where the term hack silver comes from.
And people found the concept of Bitcoin complicated.
But that was the thing, was like the curator didn't even bother...
And you get 48p back in silver.
Maybe he just genuinely of that.
Yeah, but how do you work in that wing of the museum and not know what the big exhibit in the centre is? Like the only other thing in that hall, I mean, there's like weapons around the edge and that, but there's that. They've got the Sutton Hoo Viking helmet and the thing.
Or maybe he was
barrel.
covering for someone.
Maybe so, but I was just like,
somebody dropped it. That's it. The reality is that somebody dropped that bracelet.
Because wizards.
Yeah. But
why is it cut in half? Nothing to do with change. Barry in C-Wing is a cunt.
Well,
he can't look after anything.
That's why we can't have nice things.
What was quite nice in the there was a room on ancient Cyprus,
Yeah.
And they had there was like a bit, and there was a
How
tour.
did you find that from the past?
That was the thing, is there's a tour guide. There was a tour being done, there was a group of students and a woman talking through, and they've gone, oh no, these are the blah 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 pictures of the ruins of Salamis, and you'll find if you go there that you'd see this.
Well, the old sausage.
Yeah. And I've actually been.
Did you put it
and
down
it was
the
really it was really weird, people describing this kind of ancient wonder
Yeah.
as somewhere that me and my family go for picnics when we holiday in Cyprus.
Yeah.
And they were like, when you go here, you'll see that the old ruins of... And I was like, I've sat there and ate a cheese and cucumber sandwich. It was really weird hearing
I think
about
there's a few people who probably have. I don't think it's that exciting for the tour. I think that's all it is. Like, otherwise they would have probably
If you look
said-
here, these ruins you actually find are over 1,000 years old. Now, all the noses have been chopped off the statues. Nobody knows why, but Omer once ate a cheese and cucumber sandwich stood next to it.
And he, as we all remember, is the guy who wrestled Jimmy Snooker once.
Jimmy Snooker was apparently from Hawaii. Was he Samoan?
I can't remember.
Well, he's of Samoan blood. Samoa is an island, as is Cyprus. Everything is cyclical.
In Omer's mind.
Do you know who Omer is? No, either.
The Omer.
He doesn't even know.
The Omer sphere.
Omer. We should have an Omer museum. Just be me in a chair going, you want to hear a story?
I have an anecdote about this.
What? We haven't said anything.
Myself.
No, I have an anecdote about
I can
myself.
imagine, I can imagine that you'd be the curator of a museum, walking around to every single bit, but having an anecdote about it that sort of goes off topic a little bit and into wrestling.
And then,
Surely the Omer museum is just my house.
I think it'd be great if there was just a tape, like, you know, the kind of audio guided learning stuff they do, where it's like you sort of rent a pair of headphones and a
Yeah.
tape and you walk around and stuff, and your one just rambles on for 20 minutes and then you just hear me go crazy.
I just imagine it being as me. You go into the Omer museum, which is just my house, and you walk around and I'll be like, you just hear this voice in your headphones, which is like, well, this is where he keeps his books. As you can see, it's just a cup and string. I'm just standing behind you going, these are my books. This is where I take a poo. That's one of my poos. Please flush.
Indications suggest that only Omer couldn't read.
Oh, I really want to do like historical research into individual people, as if they were an era or a type of people.
I can give you a bit of historical perspective on ancient me if you want. I used to cry a ton as a kid. That's about all I remember. Apparently repressed the rest. Who knew, right?
I think you'll find that Renaissance Blake still didn't read any books.
As we get to Silicon Era Blake, he's the only person on Earth that doesn't have Twitter. This caused the other Twitter users to bully him. Unfortunately, he wasn't on Twitter, so they didn't know how to reach him.
Best place to be.
Off Twitter, yeah, I can understand that.
I use it, like I said, I don't actually know why I use it now. I use it, I'll check in like every couple of days and just see what a few different people that I'm interested in have been up to, and that's about it.
I tell you what though, what I do use it for a lot actually is if because I work in sort of West End of London, if I hear what sounds like a demonstration or a parade or something like that,
Shots fired.
I will go to Twitter before I go to somewhere like BBC.
I've heard a lot of people say they'll do something
because
similar.
usually, if it's something important like protests or things like that, it's trending somewhere in some form.
Yeah, somebody will have created a hashtag.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Lands on fire.
It just social media in that way. Like social media is for social, and I get why
social.
I get why businesses and things use it. My own shop has a Facebook page, but
so does Emotionally 14.
Exactly. Yeah, I get it, but there are so many that just don't know how to use it.
Oh, totally.
And it's just like that.
Like Emotionally 14.
Doing the rounds at the minute is that.
Sorry. Why would you mention Emotionally 14?
Why wouldn't I? That's marketing 101, Blake.
Why would you advertise a product on a product? Never mind.
Yeah.
This is like. Oh, never. But yeah, it'll be.
You're listening to something.
Like that. That
Listening
social.
to the show by the people, what they've said stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like that social
He's
song.
going to
that's
interrupt
doing-
us in a minute.
The social song that's doing the rounds.
Yeah,
The embarrassingly bad one. Like that is a good example of it going badly but actually working.
Yeah.
Because now people, whether or not they're getting any kind of revenue from it, I don't know. But there's that whole, and it is. I think it's that the generation, our generation, for instance, have grown up alongside and with the internet, and the younger generation will always know it's around, and we know how the social media, etc., etc. But it's the generation before us that didn't have the internet, and it came about when they were a little older, and they're the ones who are kind of at the top of businesses and things now.
Yeah.
And they are running it in the way that it used to work on like a poster on a wall, or by talking to friends and things like that.
Yeah.
And social media doesn't work. It's like it'll be like I don't know. It's like the top CEOs and that are so detached from the real world.
Well, I mean, by the definition of their job, they have so much more shit to worry about.
Exactly, than the social media. And it can be... Well, like, I mean, even off social media it works. Yesterday, I was stood in my shop. I just finished my job, so I'm having a cup of tea standing by the front door.
Yeah.
And a limo goes past with a giant greyhound on top.
Right.
And it's to advertise the greyhound track just down the road.
Okay.
And I'm looking at it going, if you didn't know the greyhound track was there, I mean, it's been there years and it's well established. Mm-hmm. But a giant greyhound on a limo probably isn't going to sell you a ticket.
Well, no, because you need to make it relatively relevant to what you're
exactly.
doing. Like,
but it's like certain adverts for cars and things. They'll only work if you're in the market for a car.
Yeah.
You know, they'll work on certain people. But an advert for a chocolate bar that comes out at 60p, you'll be like, oh, give that a shot. That looks nice.
A new one,
but, yeah, exactly. But a giant greyhound on top of a limo doesn't make me go, do you know what I should really do? Go to the greyhound track.
I bought a chocolate bar one based on one the other day. It's weird.
Big greyhound.
I saw a greyhound on the limo and the next day I had a Yorkie. No fucking idea. I suppose it's like, you know, whippets and stuff.
Yeah.
Some loose connection in my mind.
Walnut whippet?
Yeah.
But yeah, like... advertising in that way and on social media, like they just get it. I can't even give examples, but they get it so wrong. They'll come up with a crafty hashtag, and they think, oh, what we like. It's almost, you know, that joke of being like, step 1, buy a farm. Step 2, fill it with puppies. Step 3, blank. Step 4, profit.
Yeah,
like it's almost like they do that. Yeah. They go like, step 1, create a hashtag for our business. So your business is, I don't know, Security Corp, right? So hashtag Security Corp. Step 2. No idea. Step 3, no idea. Step 4, we profit from having a hashtag.
Yeah,
like they don't. It's like, I think what it is that the people at the very, very top are a little older or a little bit less experienced with internet and social media, and they will employ somebody who's a little younger who they think understands how it works, and all they'll do is phone in a shitty hashtag.
Yeah.
And then collect their paycheck.
I think there are some people, genuinely, who get employed in these social media manager things who have no fucking idea what they're doing.
Exactly, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
But because the person above them has even less of an idea,
they'll
go, oh, what have you done to earn your fucking 500k this year? And they go, I came up with hashtag your business name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, and what's that doing? Oh, it actually trended on Twitter for 20 minutes. Oh, fantastic, how much has that earned us? Is the question that's never asked.
Yeah.
It's like QR codes.
As an aside, there's no way a social media manager makes 500k.
Yeah, you know what I mean, no, right?
They might get 500 quid as a
well, it depends what the company is.
Well, no, even then, like...
Well,
social media managers, like, you know, kind of... Not even
the guy with the password for Twitter.
They're probably... yeah, exactly. But they'll be, like... I mean, based on my experience, probably in the mid-20s.
Okay.
Mid-20s to 30s. They're on good money, but, like...
But still, it's that whole thing of... Does the work... Say they take 20k.
Yeah.
Right? To make that viable, exactly what they came up with, or them and their team, whatever they cost to run, has to have made more. That's business.
Oh,
so they have to have at least made 20 and a pound.
Oh, if not more, even more. Like
exactly,
3-4 times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But does it?
Don't know.
Like, does hashtag I'm loving it earn McDonald's 20 million? No. Because they're already going to... I doubt that having a Twitter account for McDonald's has made them £1 million at all. Purely revenue based on their Twitter account.
Yeah, I get you.
Because nobody goes, oh, look, McDonald's have a Twitter account. Oh, I fancy a Big Mac.
Tell you what, like, if there's anything based on my own buying habits of McDonald's, if they're making $1 million off anything, it's that fucking Monopoly thing. I cannot stop.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I love it. I just think it's so fun.
Last year I did loads.
Only ever buy McDonald's when that thing is on.
Yeah. Exactly.
A friend of mine, I won't mention it's not my home branch, like the branch nearest to me, and but it's somebody I know that works there.
Oh, yeah, sorry, speaking of which, other fast food chains are available. Cool, carry on.
As I drove through the other day, I was like, can I get...
Kusk.
The best thing is, he knows, he didn't know me by voice, because those machines apparently can't hear you very well.
Yeah.
Like, they can hear you, but they can't hear voices, like, they can't pick you out.
In the drive-thru, you mean?
Yeah. And I just went, can I get... And it was... They do some sort of barbecue, bacon, chicken snack wrap. And that's exactly how I ordered it. And I was like, can I get one of those barbecue, bacon, cheese? And he just went, anything else for you, Omer? I was like, how'd you know it was me? He's like, because you never order what's actually written on the menu. It's because from menu to drive window, I cannot remember what the new thing is called.
I'll get a Zinger Tower.
Yeah. I just come up and he just went, so that's your blah, 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 and a hot chocolate. I was like, no, I didn't order a hot chocolate. And he just kind of showed me a free hot chocolate thing that he had. And I was like, oh yeah, and a hot chocolate from McDonald's.
Cool.
And then I went to the next, like the Monopoly thing.
Oh, fucking hell.
I think he'd had a dinner earlier that day, had this thing. He can't use it himself.
Right, I get you.
Knows that I like hot chocolate. Okay. And was just like, you are my friend, I'm showing you this, would you like a hot chocolate?
Yeah.
But if it gets recorded as me saying, would you like a free hot chocolate?
Yeah.
You'd be in trouble. So he just kind of showed me the token. Nice.
Yeah.
A free hot chocolate with my dinner.
Yeah.
Do they record drive-through?
I don't know if they do or not, but I guess he didn't.
I suppose it can't be heard. If he gets overheard, then...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fair enough.
But it was just, and a hot chocolate, sir. And I was like, yeah. So, I mean, what I imagine happened is I'd gone up to the drive-thru window and just thrown in the token, and he'd gone, no, I had a hot chocolate.
Yeah, that would have been how you'd have
Yeah, rather than...
When you handed cash over, you'd have handed him the token too.
Because apparently they also, if somebody orders... what is it? Oh, you know, the sundaes?
Yeah.
If somebody orders one of those, apparently like so many people order McFlurries and other treats for their dessert, and they order so few of those. They don't want to keep them on the menu because it's the same ice cream.
Yeah.
That when somebody orders one of those, they automatically have to go, do you have a token for that? Because
Right.
the only reason people are ordering them is if they get them free with McDonald's. So it automatically flags up that they have to ask, is that a free one?
Right.
So that the computer doesn't cock up.
Oh, I see.
I just think that's quite funny that nobody orders them unless you give it for free.
Fucking hell. Speaking of McDonald's, I've backed myself into the worst fucking corner in the world, right? So I was talking about McDonald's at work the other day because I was enthusing about the Monopoly thing. Because, like I say, I just think it's a really fun...
Yeah, it's a fun little game.
I really wish they did it on the breakfast because that's actually where I spend most of my time.
Yeah.
Like, most
They
of
don't
my
do it at all
McDonald's.
on the breakfast?
No.
Oh, okay.
Unless you
Before
buy...
you can get it on your coffee or whatever.
Unless you buy a Coke with it at breakfast, because
Right.
you can do that now. Like, unless you buy a Coke with it, you don't get your tokens.
Okay.
The thing is, I only buy milkshakes and McFlurries.
Yeah, so you're still getting that.
I get them that way. But I noticed I always used to get the same one, so I assume I have to buy different things to get the one.
Yeah.
You can still
It
get...
should be random, but it does seem to be that way.
It's always the way. Like, they've got, say they've got
Like I had 20 Mayfairs at one point.
five prices of £100,000 to give away with Mayfair and Park Lane.
Yeah.
There'll be hundreds of thousands of Park
Mayfair.
Lanes.
Or Park, yeah.
Oh, it's the other way around. I mean, I had loads of...
I would think there'd probably be half a dozen Mayfairs, just in case somebody throws it away who doesn't give a shit.
Oh, there are more than they are prepared to give
Yeah.
away. And they will have to trump up if they'll come in.
In the
So any competition like that.
I'm sure in the T&Cs it says, like, first 5 win, basically.
Yeah,
and
probably
anybody
so,
who doesn't
yeah.
claim after the time is like, fuck
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Or they're maybe giving
golden
some...
ticket style thing.
Yeah, maybe they're giving some sort of gesture thing of like, oh, hey, you didn't win 100,000, but we'll give you the next prize down because that's still got some left.
Maybe so, yeah,
You get
yeah.
a car. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody who's going to get offered a car is going to be like, well, I wanted the 100 grand. It's like, oh shit, a car.
I'll get a car and sell it.
Anyway, so I was talking to my friends at work about McDonald's and I was saying about how much I liked going for it with the Monopoly stuff. And they said, what's the cheapest thing on the menu? And I was like, probably the 69p hamburger, I guess. And they said, your birthday's coming up, isn't it? I said, yes. Thinking, it's a cheap-ass gift, but fair enough. And they were like, well, then one of the guys turns to the other one and goes, what do you reckon, 10 each? Then I made the fatal schoolboy error of telling them it was my 30th. So now,
you're getting it, yeah.
the day after my 30th birthday, I will be getting, apparently, 30 McDonald's hamburgers. And it'll be my challenge to eat as many of them as I possibly can in that day. What I might do is if I can't finish them, what I might do is the tradition within the office for birthdays is to bring Krispy Kreme donuts in a box.
Oh, okay.
So I might just get a Krispy Kreme box, and just like stick some burgers in there and gone. But donuts are too mainstream.
Cold burgers, that's what
Exactly.
If I worked at Krispy Kreme and you were to explain to me exactly what you just said, I would give you 30 different boxes for you to fuck around with. To be like, here are 30 empty 30 empty dozen boxes.
Yeah.
Put one burger in each and just leave them around the office.
Your bloody work's expensive, I must admit. We normally just get a few things from the co-op.
What do you mean for like...
I mean, Krispy Kreme's is really bloody
I don't mean they buy them for the entire office. I mean, like, because there's there's like 700 people in the office.
Yeah,
it's not an option.
Bit.
Yeah, it's like
we're just a small building with 30 people.
Yeah, there you go. So like
we normally buy about... It might end up coming to a tenner still.
Yeah, mine's
buy
a
a load of stuff.
Mine's a few hundreds people in the
My
office.
boss didn't buy me shit for my birthday.
Well, that's because he's terrible with money.
He gave me the day off though.
It's funny because Omer is...
And then got wins to bad.
Yeah.
It's funny because he's Omer.
Yeah. Took the day off for my birthday. And then turns out, took the day off after as well. And I was like, do you know what? I've always said I will take my birthday off.
I always make a point of trying to do it.
When I was talking to somebody the other day, they were like, oh, why? Everybody else works their birthday. I was like, yeah, but nobody else works 6 days a week and then does their books.
Who works their fucking birthday? I don't do it.
Well, exactly.
If I can,
but my point was like, I work 6 days a week.
Yeah, exactly.
And I tend to take at least a little bit of my time on Sundays doing the books.
Well, quite so. Like, exactly. Like, I don't, I take my birthday off if I can.
Yeah.
And I don't work 6 days a fucking week.
Exactly. It's just nice to have your birthday
I
off.
work hard.
What is self-employment if I can't take a day off every now and again?
Exactly.
I always try and book around my birthday off because my birthday's January 3rd. So
sure.
So I'm like, I can't be asked to go back to work for 2 days as well. So
Hint crazy train
normally
fans, get these gifts going.
Yeah.
I get a phone call. So I'm off on the Thursday and the Friday.
Okay.
The Saturday I'm back.
Yep.
And then Monday, Tuesday would be as normal.
Yep.
Turns out they're a little bit thrown up from a bit of a family crisis, but anyway.
Yeah.
I get a phone call on the Saturday from a customer, and I've had the customer in many a times. He's an absolute arse.
Okay.
And he was just like, I came in on the Thursday because the bus was free from where I live. There's 3 buses 2 days a
Cool
week.
story, right?
Yeah, and you weren't there. I was like, oh no, it was my birthday. I was in London celebrating. And he's like, well, I'll be coming down on Tuesday. That's weird because that's the other free bus. Will you be there? And I'll try not to make too jovial of this, but I said to him, well, bar there being any emergency, yes, I'll be here all day. On the Monday, my father-in-law had a heart attack.
Exactly.
Yeah. I almost kind of wished it on him. But that's the thing with self-employment. And with any... No, do you know what I mean? It's like, with any job, I don't care who you work for. Like, if you had a phone call, like you two guys work for somebody else, if you had a phone call saying, so-and-so has had a heart attack, we need you to get him to the hospital, I'm pretty sure, unless there was something desperate going on, your boss would give you the rest of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I had some family illness in the last couple of weeks, and I basically I didn't need to rush out anywhere, but I said to my team lead, I just said, look, there's a possibility that I might have to disappear suddenly. He said, fine, not a problem. Yeah,
exactly. And that's the thing. But then again, I was like, it was almost on the Monday, you know, he had the heart attack. On the Tuesday, I was in work until about 3 o'clock when I went, and the guy came in and I did his job, and that was it. It was done. But I was almost to spite him, being like, do you know what? I'll shut the shop. And then when you come in on the next chance and complain, I'll say, my father-in-law had a heart attack. We nearly lost him.
Yeah.
What is your response? Because I know this guy. He still would have been an arse. This is the guy actually, to backpedal a little bit. The last time,
bike pump.
He seems to just. He seems to catch me when I have the odd day here and there. And he was the guy, he came in and complained that I'd been shut. And I told him my grandfather had passed away.
Right.
Do you remember me telling the story? And he just went white. I think I told you. I don't think I told it on the air. I don't mind telling it. I did it purely to choke him and to make him stop.
Yeah.
And he just went white. And you think...
Which is obviously appeals to you.
You think when that had happened once, you wouldn't complain the next time. We've been there 38 years... Like, I took a Saturday off recently.
In a row?
I know. Yeah, no days off. Fuck you.
Wow, Jesus.
I took a Saturday off recently, and a few months ago I took a Saturday off, but had the shop opened for me, like somebody covered for me.
Okay.
I worked out that the last time the shop was shut on a Saturday was 15 years ago.
Wow.
For a wedding. And even then, we probably opened a couple of hours in the morning when my dad was running it.
Hey, Undertaker. How's that for a fucking streak? You part-time bastard.
Actually, yeah, funny enough, I was shut the Monday after WrestleMania because I couldn't. Obviously, like WrestleMania finishes at 4, 5. About 4 o'clock. So I stayed. I was up in Coventry. We did a wrestling show on the same day. So I stayed in Coventry. Woke up in the morning and head back. Traffic absolutely killed me. I ended up not being able to open the shop at all that day.
What I really want to do now is I want you to wrestle Jimmy Snooker again, and I want to get behind in the production people and just have them flash up a 2 on the screen. You've got a streak of wrestling Jimmy Snooker.
Not even winning or losing, just
wrestling. Yeah.
It just says 2. It doesn't say 2-0 or...
Yeah, it's 2.
It's 2.
Yeah. But yeah, I just couldn't believe that.
1 plus 1.
Like, it's the best thing about it. The way I looked at it as well was like, this guy's pissed off because I've inconvenienced him for a day because he's spent nothing on the free bus and come down and I'm not there. And I'm like, but you still came back to spend money. Who won? Like, no matter how much of an arsehole you are.
Yeah.
And I do, I do complain about working there a lot. It's because, you know, the squeaky wheel is the one that gets the grease.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, like, I have some absolutely brilliant customers. There was one customer who I wasn't open, obviously, as I had to run my father-in-law in hospital. I wasn't open. He came in the next day and he was like, oh, came by and you were shut. Everything all right? He had no pre-knowledge that something bad had gone down, but just assumed because I'm there every day and I was gone when he was expecting to come back to pick up his bike. And I even said to him, like, no, I was really sorry, bit of a family crisis. I tell you what, just pay for the parts on your bike, don't worry about the labour, I'm really sorry I wasn't here. Yeah. He went, no, I'll pay you what it's worth. And ended up getting like 50p tip, he didn't want his change. Like, that's the type of customers I deal with a lot of the time. But, no, I do get some characters.
You have to take the rough with the smooth.
Exactly, yeah. But like I've often said, I wouldn't...
A lot of jobs.
No insult to anybody that does, but I couldn't work for somebody else for all the tea in China. Like, I love being self-employed, and I love the freedom that it gives me, and the stress that goes with it. You know, I wouldn't be there without it. I've got a job, and a lot of people haven't.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that's the way I look at it now.
And you're in a lot of respects self-made.
Yes, everything I do now is. Yeah, I'm a lazy motherfucker, but I'm still running a business, all right. Every time I do that,
you just said that to piss off the creationists, didn't you?
Self-made man.
Omer was put here to test your faith.
Well, I know that. That's got nothing to do with creationism.
No, wait, sorry, he's here to mock your faith. That was it.
There's not a
Which
faith
is
I
very
won't
testing.
mock. I saw on Facebook a little while ago. I saw a guy who makes these like shrunken head curiosities and things like that.
Okay.
And he put up like, look, I even shrink Muslim heads. And I was like, that's a Hindu symbol, you racist.
Also, like, the fact that he was like, I also do that, as if to say, like, what, they aren't heads?
Yeah.
Until you decide,
heads,
what the fuck? Some people, man, like, you can overthink that shit.
Bloody racists.
I know, right? Don't we started. So speaking of customers, you said the other day, you told me you had a good one.
Right. Have I told the pre-story of the customer who covered his bike in olive oil?
Yes.
Because he thought it was cheaper than motor oil.
Yeah.
He came in again the other day. He's a perfectly nice customer. He's a little old chap. He's a little bit eccentric, but he's fine. And
eccentric, you don't say.
He came in to get a repair done.
Who watches a fucking Olivio advert and is just like, that'd go really well on my bike?
This guy.
Yeah, really?
And when drops his bike in for repair, I think it's just a simple puncture or something like that. Comes back an hour later to pick it up. All done. There you go. Paid. Thank you very much. And then he spots on the desk with this like a really large elastic band. And he's like, "Do you need that?" I was like, "Oh no, it came with the post. We've got a use for it. It's all yours, mate." And he went, "Oh good. I wanted something to stop my wallet from opening." And I just thought, "You tight bastard." My first thought was like, does your wallet need extra protection to stop you spending money?
What you need is willpower, mate.
Yes. And then he goes to me, "Oh, you see," as he takes his wallet out of his pocket and wraps the elastic band on it. He just went, "Because the clasp was broken." I thought, the one thing tighter than you not wanting to open your wallet was you not wanting to open your wallet to buy a new wallet. Could you be any more?
By contrast, I buy wallets all the time I don't even fucking need.
I went to buy a wallet
because I'm terrible with wallets.
I went to buy. I had a certain amount of money in my eBay account from selling like some old DVDs and stuff like that. And I went to buy money. To buy some money.
Here, kids, get yourself some more money.
Here, have half a bracelet.
I went to buy a new wallet and stopped when I realised that the amount I would spend on the wallet would leave me with less in the eBay account than I had spent on the wallet. Yeah. So the term I used was, I'd have less in that wallet than on it.
And on that note,
£5 note.
Oh,
nope.
It was a money pun, but you know.
Nope.
So for the cast with me, I've been your host Rob Wade. Thank you to Omer Ibrahim.
Don't open your wallet.
Blake Harmer.
Don't open his wallet.
If you've enjoyed the show, you can subscribe and share with your friends on iTunes. Mm-hmm. You can find us at emotionally14.com. That's the digits 14, not the letters. You can find us at Facebook at facebook.com/emotionally14. Digits, not letters again. We're on Twitter at emotionally14. Digits again. I'm at Rob Wade Vision. Omer's at the Iron Turk Omer.
Digits again.
Digits again. Not the letters Omer. Blake's not on Twitter, so there's that.
Fuck you.
Wow. It's a bit strong.
Blake throws down the gauntlet to social media. This was in 140 characters, so you've got the premise down.
Yeah.
I can't talk in 140 characters.
I know. Can't talk in 140.
It's just how much the paper I type all my words on weighs.
Ah, well. You can also find Omer and Blake's band Bender Crack Corn on Facebook. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah. No, that kind of sounds like we're busy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That'll do. I might make a flan.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Bender Crack Corn have a Facebook page, whether they gig or anything.
Yeah. Well, our guitarist does have a broken hand.
Yeah, there is that. But also, obviously, check Bender Crack Corn's Facebook page for pictures of Omer's flan.
I'm gonna have to.
He said flan.